Good morning, Las Vegas. It's Zandra Pollard. It's Where I Am. Here on your favorite jazz station, 91.5, Jazz and More. You know, I have a really cool guest today. We're going to be talking about boxing therapy. That's what I like to call it. I did some research about it and I had no idea that it was beneficial mentally. I thought, it was just good for kicking somebody's tail, I don't know. Boxing world is new to me. I have two sons who are interested in boxing. And so I've learned more and more about it. And it was such a delight because I was one of those scared mothers like, oh, I don't want nobody hitting my baby. And then after a while, it was like, get in there and kick his so you get really excited. But in terms of boxing without contact, it is very beneficial in terms of reducing anxiety, high levels of concentration, things like ADHD. I mean, it's just totally helpful. And it was even compared to yoga, which was surprising to me. Yeah. So Coach Danny is here, Danny Vella of Undefeated Boxing out here in Henderson, Nevada. And he's going to educate us more about the world of boxing and how it can be beneficial in terms of our mental health, our physical health. Yeah, all those things. So, Coach Danny, welcome and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I had to get undefeated.
Yes.
Out on the airwaves, you know what I mean? Because it's like family.
Yes.
Right? You care about I will call them students.
Yes.
Yes, and I care about them because my baby attends it. Yes. So, welcome again. And I want you to tell us, what are some of the positive things about boxing? Because we always hear about, somebody has brain damage, someone has been injured for life, all of those scary things. But let's talk about the positivity.
Well, just on a basic level of boxing, the first thing you have to have is a good work ethic to be involved with boxing.
Yes.
Right. So you spend 99% of your time working out, either running, doing push-ups, sit-ups, bag drills, mitt work. The physical contact of boxing is very, very minimal, in the training sessions, let's say.
Okay.
So you spend 95% of your time working out, preparing, obviously, to be in the ring for any physical contact. But then again, I use the gym as a means of method for all types of people. People who want to be competitive, people who want to, compete and move forward in the amateurs, maybe even become a pro one day, something of that effect.
Right, because Undefeated is not like just like a workout gym where, your middle, like someone like me is coming in to, make her body look better or something like that, right?
No.
This is for people who are trying or who are becoming professionals.
Well, we do have classes. We do have classes that mix to both sides.
Okay.
I have beginner adults that work out just come because they like to be involved and try to learn something. Mm-hmm. Some maybe want to use it for self-defense purposes. Some for weight loss.
Okay.
We also do a lot of strength conditioning and things like that on certain days at the gym. And other athletes come just for that. I have baseball players who come just to be involved with that type of stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I say, so like you were speaking earlier about boxing being therapeutic, it's a character builder. That's the reality of it. It's like, you don't get much closer to what real life is other than being in the ring and forcing yourself through a lot of stuff, because that's what your life's going to bring to you anyway, unexpectedly.
Oh, yeah.
So if you can push yourself through all these things, through the workouts, there's days you don't feel like going, you force yourself to go. There's days you don't want to hit the bags, but you do it anyway, It's just that constant character that it's always building, and that resolve it's building inside of each individual. And for me, I don't expect everybody to be a world champion that comes out of my gym. I do expect them to have good characteristics and be good, just be good-natured humans, Exactly. And obviously, the more they work out and the more confident they become as an individual, the more that light shines from them to others.
Yes, because it's also a self-esteem builder.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were saying, as far as being therapeutic, I've had kids who couldn't make eye contact with you. You know, they're actually in full blown competitions now. You know, like competing and you know, winning belts and winning fights and winning tournaments and doing, you know, stuff that only confident people can be involved with. Obviously, you know, you can't just be a fighter and not have no confidence. That's kind of goes hand in hand. You know,
you have to have that build that hand-eye coordination.
Very much so.
Yes.
Yeah. There is some
learning.
No, there's some crazy people out there that just like to fight and do some wild stuff. But if you want to be a legit, you know, sharp, educated boxer, it's going to take a lot of work on your part. You know.
So, what age group do you typically work with?
Anywhere from roughly, I'll say about 6 years old, like the youngest, due to their attention spans. I would train kids younger, you know, at 2 or 3 years old if I could, you know. But obviously, if I have them amongst a bunch of other students, their discipline factor is going to determine how much I can pay attention to the rest of the class.
Yes.
You know, so like 6 years old, I think is a good age to start because they have a pretty decent attention span. They can't compete in boxing until they're 8, but my opinion is that why would you start boxing at the same year you can start competing, right?
Okay, that makes sense.
Like you spend 2 years getting to know the boxing.
I would hope it would carry over and help in the classroom as well.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying about being characteristic is that there's no such thing as a lazy person in one area of their life. You know, that does not happen. There's not a person that just walks through a bunch of filthy stuff at their home and then get in their car and it's beautifully organized, or then they go to their office and their desk is like that. No. The character to become a boxer is going to take your discipline, going to take dedication, is going to take all these certain things that are going to have to be built inside of you, and then they're going to translate to other areas of your life.
Yes.
Especially if you want to be part of that. You know, otherwise, if you're the guy that tells me you ran 2 miles and you didn't, we'll know, especially if it comes to competition.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're giving yourself 25% during your workouts, you'll know when the rest of the class advances past you, you know, in the next 6 months, and you're not on the same level as them no more.
Right.
You know, and my thing is like this: if you improve in boxing, you become more confident, you get that discipline, you get that dedication, you build all these characters that it takes to be competitive. Obviously, those same characteristics are going to spill over the other areas of your life.
So tell us about the gym. Where is the gym? Let the listeners know where to find you. If someone's out there listening and you want to get involved in the sport of boxing and you'd like to reach out to Danny, Coach Danny, you can.
We're located in Henderson, Nevada, 671 Professional Avenue, Suite 515, Henderson, Nevada, 89015.
Okay. And is there a phone number?
702-782-1804. That's my direct cell, so you can contact me anytime.
Okay. Well,
but that's the phone number to the gym.
You got to be careful with that one because, you know, people will call. Yeah. All right. Well, just
hey.
Please know whoever's listening, because, you know, we're also, not only am I on 91.5.
Yes.
It's Where I Am. You can find it on all your major podcast platforms. So that would be like Apple, Spotify, Google, all the good ones, right? And if you want to listen live, turn into 91.5. But again, you can always find it when you're ready to listen on those platforms. Also, there's my YouTube channel, itswhereiam.com, and my website, itswhereiam.com. All right? So, sorry to cut you off.
No,
but
you're
I
good.
wanted to give that information out because you're giving out your phone number.
No, I get it. But you know what? You know how many calls I get a day from people I did not give my phone number? And I'm sure everybody in America does. All day long, my phone rings from people trying to spam me, sell me something, offer me something. I get more of those calls than anything else. So, I mean, hopefully you're calling me with good intent.
Right. Yeah, that would be nice. So, now let's talk about your involvement, how you got involved, because you have sons who are involved in the world of boxing. And some of them, or most of them, or all of them, are doing pretty well. So can you break that down for me?
I got involved in boxing when I was a young kid, probably around 2 or 3 years old. My uncle was a boxer, introduced me to boxing. And to be honest with you, I just never had the opportunity to be consistently dedicated to boxing. I was always floating in and out when my uncle kind of let his boxing dreams go and moved on. I kind of floated in and out of boxing for a while. Got back into my later teens, then ended up having a son. Never expected to train my sons. Obviously, apple don't fall far from the tree, because once they were old enough, they were asking me to go to the gym. And then on my oldest son's 8th birthday, he asked me to take him to the gym, and we've never left. That just became it. And then I kind of just gave up on any hopes of boxing for me. I dedicated myself to what my sons were involved with, and then from there, it just stemmed on to more community-based. I was working at a PAL program gym at one time. That's where I started with my older son.
What's a PAL program?
It's the Police Athletic League. It's like sponsored by the police department. It used to be a pretty active gym down in Henderson. It's called Henderson PAL. That's kind of where I started. The gentleman that was running the gym there, he kind of mentored me a little bit into the coaching. You know, it's a different mindset when you're going from trying to be a boxer to trying to be a coach. You know, like a lot of people that are boxers and become coaches, they expect everybody to be them, and that's just not the way it works. You know, everybody's individually different. Everybody's physiology is different. Everybody has a different mindset. Everybody has a different personality.
And I'm sure you really learned that through the kids, your kids.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
How many boys do you have?
I have 4 sons.
4,
and they're all opposite.
Yes.
There's they have their traits where they're the same, but same thing, like personality-wise. I can tell some of them, hey, you know, you need to do this and that, and it's done. Other ones, no matter what I say, it's a rebellious conversation.
Yes.
You know, so but you learn
unwanted feedback. Yeah.
You know, but the thing is, you take all that. I take all that, what I did with my own kids and the adjustments I had to make with them, raising them and teaching them boxing, obviously. And I kind of learned from them, and I passed it on to others at my gym. You know, so when people come into my gym, I don't have a expectancy right away of who they're going to be or what they're going to be. I try to learn more about them individually, you know, because everybody's going through things differently at home.
That's right.
Everybody has different opportunities. Some people have no opportunities. Some of these kids, you know, you can talk to aggressively and they'll respond. Other kids, you got to talk to passively to get them to respond.
Yes.
So it's a constant, you know, psychological battle as well to get kids to be motivated and things like that. And it's not just the kids, you know, I have adults as well. And some just like to come there because it's a positive environment. Yeah. And that's my focus, is because my sons are all there, you know. My wife comes and she runs the gym in the evenings, as far as like the administrative work and all that, you know. All my family's involved with the keeping the gym active and things like that. You know, so I try to keep it really positive there because everybody's around my family, you know. So once you're in my gym, you're really part of my family now because you are friends with my sons, you're friends with my wife, you're friends with my mother because she's there.
So I would imagine you're pretty selective.
Oh, you're getting kicked right out the gym if I don't agree with what you're doing. Like I'm not putting up with the troublemaking stuff. I'll help you, but I'm not gonna tolerate a bunch of, you know,
shenanigans.
No. I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll help you get out of that because some people are stuck in that. Like I said, they don't have another means of anything or never were taught nothing. We can work our way through, but if it comes to the point where you're just deliberately destructive, you know, and causing that, I can't have that in my gym. I don't want to be part of it. I don't want my gym to stand for that for nobody, you know.
That's right.
Like the overall goal of the gym is just to help everybody become better.
Yes.
That's it. Like I said, not everybody's gonna be a world champion, you know, and I understand that, but my thing is like this is doesn't mean I won't be part of your life. You know, you might be with me for 3 years and I'm hoping that the time you're with me, I can impact you positively. And maybe when I bumped into you 3 years after that, you might be married and have children and have a nice home. And that's the least I can do, you know, or my least hope everybody becomes successful and has a good, you know, good outcome with their life. As far as my sons go, back to that topic. Yeah, I raised all my sons in boxing. I have a little one right now. He hasn't started competing yet. He'll be 8 in October. His name's Albert.
Okay.
He's the firecracker. He's the baby. You know how they are.
He's a cutie pie.
Yeah. You know, but you know they're challenging everybody, being the baby of the family. Then my older son, he no longer competes and things like that. He's actually moved on. He's the executive director for the Athletic Commission for the state of Arizona.
Okay.
So he handles all the combat sports out there.
Nice.
You know, so his boxing background, he was always a little bit politically involved growing up, like really into politics and just had that kind of mindset, and very intelligent kid. And stayed boxing until he was about 17, and then from there he got kind of more involved into the like reffing and judging and things like that with boxing. Got involved with USA Boxing, like on like an Olympic level, like being part of like the Olympic Committee or whatever they want to call it, something on the USA Boxing team there. But then from there, just opportunities opened up for him. You know, he got offered a position out there to do that with the Athletic Commission. He moved on with that. My son Philip, he just come back from Olympic trials. He's going to be making his pro debut in the next couple months.
In LA and
no, it's going to be in Phoenix.
Oh, it's going to be in Phoenix.
It'll be in Phoenix, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It'll be in Phoenix. So it actually just got postponed. It was supposed to be June 8th. Things didn't work out, so it got postponed, moved to July 27th. So looking forward to that day for him.
Yes.
Then I got another son, Angelo. He's actually very active in boxing as well. He's won quite a few amount of tournaments.
Is Angelo the one I see all the time?
Angelo's the one that had the cast on his arm just recently.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's Angelo.
Okay.
But see, those boys also play baseball. So there's me as a boxer, boxing coach and the gym guy, but I'm also a dad. So I'm on the baseball fields hanging out and doing that. In fact, I leave tomorrow to Reno for a 1-week national.
Oh, okay.
For baseball. But me, I'm just motivated by whatever the kids are doing. I try to stay observed and involved as much as I can in what the kids are doing while they're kids.
So this is going to air in July. So what's happening in July? Is there anything that listeners may want to know to show up for your son, to support him as a Las Vegan, or is it open to the public?
It's a live event. It's a professional event. Like I said, it's going to be hosted in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, it's in Phoenix. That's right.
Yeah. That's the thing. Okay. It's going to be hosted in Phoenix, Arizona. There is obviously a website and things like that nature. Del Sol Promotions is who's promoting it. Okay. You can find all their stuff on their website. As far as address and all those stuff. If you want to come and check us out, come and check us out.
All right.
His name's Philip Vela, making his pro debut.
Philip Vela.
Yeah, and he's
rooting for you, man.
Philip's he's one of them kids that's a very hard worker. Like sometimes parents are always pushing their kids to be something and do something. I gotta say, with my kids, especially Philip being one of them, it was 40% me, 60% me pushing, 40% him pulling. Okay. And it makes a difference, because sometimes you get wore out as a parent, and then other times.
Yeah, I know. Definitely.
Sometimes when the kids show a little fire, and a little tenacity and a little bit of hard work, it motivates you to do more for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I'm blessed to have 4 good sons, and that's how they motivate me,
Now, who is the one, I don't know if I missed it or not, but there's one, sometimes he's helping to coach.
That's Philip.
That's Philip.
That's
the one that's going to be fighting.
Yes.
Oh, he's awesome.
Yes, that's Philip.
Now, he's the one that is doing the Olympics.
Yeah, well, he was in the Olympic trials in December. We didn't go our way out there. Okay. He did well though. He has.
I'm just trying to get it together in my mind because I saw him actually doing some coaching.
Yes.
With my son while he was in the corner, and he was showing him some footwork. And I was like, wow. Yeah. I was really impressed. Now, I've never seen him fight. I'm not into boxing. This is new for me.
Yeah.
Again. So, but I was definitely impressed. I wishing him all the best in his endeavors. But can you please tell us the name of your gym, where we can find it, and the phone number once again?
It's Undefeated. It's in Henderson, Nevada. It's 671 Professional Avenue. Suite 515, phone number 702-782-1804.
All right. So now I want to get into some other things.
Okay.
So we're talking about boxing. We're talking about being a parent.
Yes.
Your transition into coaching.
Yes.
What's next for you?
You know what? I'm just highly motivated by what the kids are involved with. Like I don't really have a lot of selfish means. I'm just
but
not.
Are you thinking about expanding the gym, maybe?
Oh no, actually. Oh, sorry. Actually, you just reminded me.
Okay.
We are expanding the gym.
Right.
We're actually getting the building next to us in July sometime, so the gym is gonna be getting bigger. Yes. Awesome. As far as that, yes. As far as like expanding as like a franchise or anything of that nature, nothing like that. I like to be involved. I don't do this for money. Let's just clarify that.
But you got to make money.
But you have to make money.
Yeah.
And like I say, with boxing, like I've explained before, people don't just have a place where they can just go box anytime they want, or a gym. Kids can play baseball. There's baseball fields all around the state.
Yes.
All the time. You kind of need a place to, and that's what I provide. A boxing gym. Not only that, a good environment for everybody to grow, and to help, give me a chance to help. I have kids in my gym that I train where I grew up with their parents when we were in elementary school.
Oh, okay.
And now their kids are in my gym, and I'm training them and helping them just with whatever I can,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of a good-hearted person when it comes to certain things, so I'm not that good of a businessman when it comes to the kids. You know what I mean? How do you tell kids, hey, your parents didn't pay the dues, you can't come?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's unfortunate, but that does happen sometimes.
Mhm.
But, my family supports everything I do. I got a good wife who supports me and all the crazy things I come up with,
Wonderful.
and my kids as well, Haven't been a perfect parent nor a perfect coach because of trying to balance the two out.
Mhm.
Sometimes you get emotionally caught up in what you're doing, and I'm sure a lot of parents have, when kids maybe are too young to understand. And I've learned, you learn, and luckily for me, my kids obviously don't hold no grudges on me for maybe things I've done to them. It's been a little hard,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh wow! Thank you for that. Thank you for opening up because
Yeah,
you're never alone. You are never the only person in this world feeling as you do. So
yeah.
testimonials here are super big for me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do a little bragging now.
Okay.
More bragging
All right.
aside from your wonderful, beautiful wife and your fantastic kids. Tell us about some of the success stories that have come from your boxing gym. Because I've seen some belts on the wall.
Oh yeah, no.
And I know there's some women boxing in there too. You
Oh, yeah.
told me some stuff, so let's tell our listeners also.
Oh yeah, no. We definitely have had our fair share of winning. I'm not a bragger by no means.
But you
personally,
gotta brag.
but you do gotta brag. You do gotta brag. Yes. Okay. No, I mean I have some kids that I trained in the past year or so that are all ranked in the top 10 now. A couple of them have moved on to other gyms and to go further their
Career.
situation with whatever is best for them and their family, which is fine by me. Like I say, my time with everybody is sincere. And I can do.
And it doesn't always mean it's forever.
No,
There's
but
always a season.
yes, exactly right. There's always a season, and it's the individuals themselves. I'm just there every day. So if you come there every day and you're willing to show up and work and put in the work, I can help you. But I can't do nothing without you putting in those efforts. And I think that's another misconception when it comes to boxing, is that people watch TV and they see this coach that has all these champions, and sometimes they're giving this coach a lot of credit for what he did, but they're not realizing the person who let them train them and believe in them and stuck by their side and let them learn all their mistakes as a coach on that individual who was maybe that boxer.
Wow.
And you see that I see that a lot. There's fighters who have 150 amateur fights and their coach is now they're world champion, and now their coach is one of the recognized coaches of how good of a coach he is. But without that person
without their effort,
and then believing in that coach as well, that coach would never had a chance to be that person.
Right.
So nothing's ever about you, and that's just the way it goes. I know a lot of people in the world today, they want to post stuff and make everything about them.
Right.
But
take all the credit.
But that's not how this world works.
That's right.
Like it takes two. It takes two to have a good relationship. It takes two to win a championship as a fighter and as a coach. You know what I mean? And you each kind of benefit each other, and take each other to another level. So it's hard for me to brag about anything I've personally done when a lot of these kids have achieved things on their own. And then my sons, they show up every day and they work out and do their thing, and they're a good example. They're a good example of what could happen if you let me coach you.
Okay.
Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
Like, because they're there and they're trained every day and they're with me every day, you can look at them and say, okay, the discipline this kid has and what he's being taught, he's really advanced for his age. That shows the person who's coming into my gym who wants to be the best in the world in 2 weeks that in due time you'll be good. But you have to, you have to dot all the I's and cross all the T's.
That's right. Hey, I appreciate you coming on the show. I recognized your efforts, and I just wanted to, put you out there a little bit.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Some of the things that you've had to say. I like the way that you are shaping my son to be a better man, aside from his own father. And I just thank you.
No, I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Awesome.
So that was Coach Danny Vella, y'all, of Undefeated in Henderson, Nevada. You can find him on social media. Check him out. If you are interested in the sport of boxing, you or your kid, find him on social media. It's there for you. He's there for you. And as for me, you can always find me on 91.5 Jazz and More every Saturday at 7:30 a.m. And before I let you go, you know I gotta hit them with a little bit of Rocky. Hey, let's get that Rocky song going, man. Everyone have an energized day, all right? See you next week. Bye.